Hello again, people, and happy Sunday. It's Gino once again from Real Everyday English, and I'm back with another weekly English learning video in which I will attempt to teach you people some new vocabulary. I hope you've had a great week. Please let me know which new words you have learned this week in the comments below, and I'll share my thoughts on them words and wish you continued success. The content for today's video is going to be physical descriptions of people, because eventually when you are communicating in English you are going to have to describe what someone looked like physically as a person. What did they appear like? How was their appearance? So without any further ado, let's crack on and get into it. Let's go. Okay, so first of all, I'd just like to say that there is no way that I'm going to be able to cover all of the words that we use to describe other people in this video, but I am going to cover around 15 examples of words we might use to describe another person. I think this is a video where I could possibly make volume 2 and volume 3, volume 4, because there are just so many words that we use to describe other people. But let's crack on with the examples I have. So I'd like to begin by talking about a person's height. And to help you see what I'm talking about, please take a look at the following image and then we'll discuss it afterwards. Here's the image. Okay, so as you could see in the image, there were 3 people. One person was a short person. The next person was an average height person. And then the last person was a very tall person. So that's short, average height, and tall. They are the 3 main words we use to describe someone's height. And the next thing we might need to describe about someone is whether the person is thin or fat or average. So to assist you with this, please take a look at the following image. Here it is. Okay, so once again, as you could see, there was a thin person who is very slim, very thin arms, very thin legs. Then there was an average person who isn't thin, isn't fat, is just average, is in the middle. And then on the end, there was the fat person who obviously carries a lot of weight, a lot of fat on their body. One thing I will warn you is that to describe someone as fat to their face is very offensive, so we wouldn't do that. We would only do that when describing the person to someone else, because people will get offended if you call them fat. So just be careful with that one. Okay, let's move on. Another useful word when speaking about other people or you want to describe someone is the word attractive. Now, attractive means good looking, handsome, pretty, beautiful, whichever you want to say. It means that the person is attractive. You are attracted to that person. And the opposite of this would be unattractive. So if you find someone unattractive, you are not attracted to that person. It's simply unattractive. And the following image is someone who I think is really attractive. To give you an example, here it is. And moving swiftly on to the next word. The next word is bald. Now, the word bald means simply to have no hair. So, for example, I am bald. I don't have any hair. Here's a photo example of someone else who is bald. One thing I would add to the word bald is that bald can describe someone who is like me, cuts their hair off on purpose, intentionally. So that is a bald person, but also we use bald to describe when someone's hair is actually falling out due to age, etc. So that is the word bald. I hope you find it useful. When describing someone's hair, we either use the word short hair, which means the hair is pretty short, or long hair, which means obviously they have long hair. Here's a photo example to help you out. Let's have a look. So as you could see in the image, one lady had pretty short hair. The hair was cut up to about here. And the other lady, she had long hair. So to describe that, you would simply say that the person had short hair or they had long hair. Simple as that. And the next phrase that you may need to use when describing another person is the term well groomed. Now, we would only use this word in relation to a man, and what it means is that his hair is cut very neatly, his eyebrows are neat, his beard is perfectly shaped, and so on and so forth. Here is an example photo of a well-groomed man. I hope you find it useful. Let's take a look. And the next word I want to teach you is the word chubby. And chubby is basically a polite way of saying that someone has put weight on or is a little bit fat, shall we say. So you could use it in an example sentence, something like, oh, he's put a bit of weight on, he's looking a bit chubby recently. And it means that, it's a polite way of saying fat, basically. So that is the word chubby. And here's an example photo of someone who I would describe as being chubby. Let's take a look. The next word I want to teach you guys in relation to describing someone is the word curvy. Now, we generally only use this for women. We don't use it for men. And what it means is that she has a very full figure. So she has possibly large breasts and a small waist and big hips. And that is curvy. So we would describe that person as having a curvy figure, or simply she's a curvy woman. And here's an example of a curvy woman. Let's take a look. Another word we use to describe people is the word fit. Now, if you say that someone's looking fit, it means that they're in shape, they look like they go to the gym, so on and so forth. But something worth bearing in mind is that we also use this word in British English to describe someone who we think is attractive. So if you say, oh, you know, I saw this girl down the supermarket the other day, she's really fit. It can mean that you find her attractive, or it could mean that she's fit, as in physically fit, goes to the gym and works out. Here's an example photo of someone who I would describe as being fit, as in goes to the gym and works out. Let's take a look. Another word which is similar to the word fit, as in goes to the gym and so on, is a word we would use to describe either a man or a woman, but usually men, we would describe this, and that is the word muscular. Now, if someone is muscular, it means that they have big muscles, the muscles pop out of the shoulders and they're really big and they look like they go to the gym all the time. So let's take a look at an example photo of someone who I would say is very muscular. Let's look. And now we're down to the last couple of phrases, and the next to last phrase that I want to teach you is the word scruffy. Now, scruffy means someone who doesn't take care of their appearance. Their clothes might look old and have rips in them. The hair is all over the place. They don't shave the beard. So this is a scruffy person, and it's not a very nice. If you call someone scruffy, then it would be an offensive thing. But if you was describing someone you perhaps didn't know to somebody else, you could say, oh, they looked pretty scruffy. And it means that they didn't have a good appearance, their hair was everywhere. And here is an example image of someone who I would say was scruffy. Let's take a look. Last but not least is the word smart. To be of smart appearance. Now, we can use this in terms of a man or a woman, and usually someone who is smartly dressed is wearing a suit, a tie, and a blazer maybe, and we would say that that person is smartly dressed. So, or you could quite simply say to someone, oh, you look smart today. and it means that you think the person is nicely dressed. Here's an example of someone who I think is smartly dressed. Let's take a look. And that is it for this week's video, people. I hope you found it useful. If you did find it useful, then please feel free to share it with your English learning friends. Like I said, I think this is a topic that I can possibly revisit and talk about some more vocabulary that we use to describe people or to describe the physical appearance of people. So, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of the weekend, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be next week on Sunday. Peace out, people. Bye-bye. Bye.